Wow, JJ, look at the board soon. Today we are going to build a modern house. How stylish and modern it is. I can't wait any longer. I'm already running to start building.
If we build together and repeat all the steps step by step, we will get the perfect modern house. Let's start this tutorial soon.
I start from the very front of the modern house because first impressions always matter. The entrance is the first thing anyone notices, so I want it to look clean and welcoming right away. I begin outlining the front yard using white concrete, which is one of the most popular materials for modern architecture. Bright colors help buildings appear larger and cleaner, while simple geometric shapes give them that recognizable contemporary style. Instead of covering every block with decorations, I leave plenty of open space because modern homes usually focus on minimalism rather than excessive detail. Along the front, I prepare several flower beds using grass blocks. Adding natural greenery beside bright white walls creates a strong contrast that immediately makes the entrance feel more lively. After finishing the basic layout, I continue raising some of the exterior walls with more white concrete. I don't build every wall to its full height yet, because it's much easier to keep everything aligned when the overall shape develops step by step. Professional architects often begin with the primary structure before filling in smaller sections. And I like following the same idea while building in Minecraft. Keeping the walls straight also helps the house look much more modern since contemporary designs usually rely on long horizontal and vertical lines instead of complicated shapes. Even with only a few walls standing, it already starts looking like the outline of a stylish modern home. Before moving on, I take another look at the flower beds to make sure they fit naturally beside the house. Plants are more important than many builders realize because they soften the sharp edges created by concrete. Real modern homes often combine clean architectural lines with carefully planned landscaping to prevent the building from feeling cold or empty. Even something as simple as a strip of grass or a few decorative plants can completely change the atmosphere of a build. With the front entrance prepared and the first walls standing in place, the house already has a strong foundation for everything that comes next.
While Mikey continues working on the structure, I focus on bringing the entrance to life with landscaping. I add several leaf blocks around the front to create natural bushes before using bone meal to grow tall grass throughout the flower beds. Finally, I place colorful flowers between the greenery to give the entrance more personality. This stage may seem simple compared to constructing the house itself, but landscaping plays a huge role in modern architecture. A well-designed garden frames the building, softens the contrast between concrete and nature, and makes the entire property feel far more inviting. Sometimes, a few carefully placed plants can improve the appearance of a build just as much as adding another room to the house.
Next, I move over to the right side of the house because every modern home looks even better with a swimming pool. I begin outlining the entire shape before building the walls from ice blocks. Ice is a clever choice because its smooth texture and slightly transparent appearance make the pool look much cleaner than using ordinary solid blocks. Many modern architects like incorporating reflective materials around water because they create a brighter, more open atmosphere. Even before adding the water itself, the pool already feels like an important part of the overall design, rather than just an extra decoration beside the house. With the walls finished, I place white carpets all along the top edges of the pool. This little trick creates a smooth border that almost looks like polished stone surrounding the water. Details like this help separate the pool from the surrounding terrain and give it a much more luxurious appearance. Real swimming pools often have a light-colored border because it reflects sunlight, and creates a clean transition between the water and the patio. In Minecraft, white carpets achieve a very similar effect while also hiding the tops of the blocks underneath, making the edges appear thinner and more elegant. Finally, I fill the entire pool with water and step back to admire the result. Watching the water settle inside the ice walls immediately makes this side of the house feel alive. Water is one of the best decorative elements in modern builds because it reflects nearby structures and introduces movement into an otherwise static scene. Even though the pool is fairly simple, it completely changes the atmosphere of the property. Now, the house already feels like a place where someone could actually relax, and I think this tutorial shows that adding one well-designed outdoor feature can dramatically increase the realism of an entire modern home.
While Mikey is busy finishing the swimming pool, I don't waste any time standing around. I head to the back of the property and begin constructing another section of the house using white concrete. Building from opposite sides is actually a great way to work as a team because we can expand the project much faster without getting in each other's way. White concrete keeps the entire design consistent with the front entrance, and even though my section is still only a framework, it already helps define the overall footprint of the modern house. The larger the outline becomes, the easier it is to visualize how every room will connect together once the rest of the structure is completed. At this point, it is time for both of us to focus on the main structure together. Large projects become much easier when the work is divided efficiently, and that is exactly what we are doing. Instead of one person building the entire house alone, each of us takes responsibility for different sections while following the same architectural style. Teamwork like this is surprisingly common in massive Minecraft projects because it allows builders to complete complex structures much faster without sacrificing quality. As long as everyone follows the same design language and block palette, the finished result looks like it was created by a single architect. To shape the walls, I combine white concrete with gray concrete. White concrete creates the clean, minimalist appearance that modern houses are famous for, while gray concrete introduces contrast and prevents the exterior from looking too flat. One useful design principle is that neutral colors rarely compete with one another. Instead, they emphasize the building's geometry, allowing the shapes themselves to become the main attraction. This is one reason modern architecture often relies on whites, grays, blacks, and natural wood, instead of bright colors covering every surface. Once the walls are in place, I begin installing the windows using both light blue glass panes and regular glass panes. Mixing the two types creates subtle variation, making the windows feel much more realistic than if every pane looked exactly the same. Large windows are one of the defining characteristics of modern homes because they allow natural light to flood the interior while visually connecting the inside with the surrounding landscape. Even in Minecraft, generous amounts of glass make buildings feel more spacious and open. By combining clean concrete walls with expansive windows, the house is already starting to capture the sleek, contemporary style that makes modern architecture so recognizable.
Now I take responsibility for one of the side sections of the house. Since JJ and I are building the same project together, I make sure my work matches the style we have already established. I continue using white and gray concrete, so the entire building keeps a consistent appearance from every angle. One of the easiest ways to make a large build look professional is by limiting the number of materials. When too many different blocks are introduced, the design can quickly become distracting. By staying with the same palette, every new wall naturally feels like part of the original blueprint. As the side of the house grows taller, I leave plenty of room for windows instead of filling every opening with solid concrete. Modern homes are designed to feel bright and open, so large windows are almost as important as the walls themselves. I also pay attention to keeping the edges straight and the proportions balanced. Long horizontal lines make buildings appear wider, while tall vertical sections add a sense of height. Combining both directions gives the house a clean, geometric look without making the design overly complicated. Even though this section seems simple, it helps tie the front and back of the house together into one complete structure. After finishing the side walls, I fly around the house for a quick inspection. Looking at a build from different perspectives is something I always recommend because problems that are invisible from one angle often become obvious from another. From the side, I can already see how well the pool, entrance, and rear section connect together. Everything feels balanced, and the house is beginning to look like one complete modern villa rather than several separate pieces built by different people. That is exactly what I wanted to achieve before moving on to the next stage.
With the exterior taking shape, Mikey and I begin working on the floors of the house. I start laying down the first floor using white concrete, creating a clean and uniform surface throughout the entire building. A well-planned floor does much more than provide somewhere to walk. It establishes the layout of every room, determines where furniture will be placed later, and makes it much easier to organize the interior. Before walls divide the space into separate rooms, a continuous floor allows me to visualize how the entire house will function once it is finished. After completing the lower level, I move upstairs and repeat the process for the second floor. Keeping both levels aligned is extremely important because every wall, staircase, and window depends on the floors matching perfectly. Real construction follows the same principle. Builders first establish strong horizontal levels before continuing upward with additional walls and roofing. Even in Minecraft, taking time to create perfectly aligned floors prevents countless problems later in the project and keeps the whole house looking professionally designed. With both floors finished, the house suddenly feels much larger than before. Until now, it mostly looked like a collection of walls, but adding complete floor slabs transforms it into a true two-story home. One interesting architectural fact is that empty floor space often influences how people perceive a room more than the walls themselves. Large, uninterrupted surfaces make interiors feel brighter and more spacious because the eye can travel freely across the room. That simple design principle is one of the reasons modern homes are famous for their open layouts, and it works just as well in Minecraft as it does in real architecture. With the floors complete, I continue raising the remaining exterior walls until the entire frame of the house is fully enclosed. I keep alternating between white and gray concrete to maintain the clean, modern style that Mikey and I established earlier. Rather than creating perfectly flat walls everywhere, I let certain sections extend slightly farther than others. Small changes in depth make sunlight create stronger shadows across the exterior, giving the building much more character. Modern architecture often relies on these subtle offsets because they add visual interest without introducing unnecessary decorations or complicated shapes. Now, I begin installing the remaining windows using both regular glass panes and light blue glass panes. Glass plays a much bigger role than simply letting players see outside. It controls how bright the interior feels and helps connect the house with the surrounding landscape. Large windows make rooms appear significantly bigger because your eyes continue beyond the walls instead of stopping at solid blocks. Mixing clear and light blue panes also creates a more natural appearance, almost as though different parts of the house reflect the sky from slightly different angles. One useful design principle is to avoid placing windows randomly. I try to align them with the rooms behind the walls so every opening appears intentional. Real architects carefully position windows to maximize natural light while also providing attractive views of gardens, pools, or surrounding scenery. Following that same philosophy in Minecraft makes even simple buildings feel much more realistic. Every pane becomes part of the overall design instead of looking like a hole cut into the wall. The highlight of the second floor is a spacious room that stretches across one side of the house. Instead of surrounding it with solid concrete, I build enormous panoramic windows using light blue glass panes. This instantly transforms the room into one of the brightest spaces in the entire house. Panoramic glazing is extremely popular in modern homes because it fills interiors with sunlight while making the outside landscape feel like part of the decoration. During the day, the room feels open and airy, while at night, Players can enjoy impressive views in every direction. After finishing the panoramic room, I step back to admire the completed exterior. The combination of clean concrete surfaces, carefully positioned windows, and expansive glass walls gives the house a sleek contemporary appearance from every angle. One thing I always tell builders is that modern architecture is less about adding more details and more about choosing the right proportions. Straight lines, balanced materials, and generous natural lighting often create a stronger impression than hundreds of decorative blocks. With the structure now fully enclosed, the house is finally ready for my favorite stage of every build: furnishing the interior and turning an empty shell into a comfortable home. Now comes my favorite part of the entire tutorial. The structure is finally complete, which means it is time to transform this modern house into a place that actually feels lived in. Empty rooms can make even the most beautiful buildings seem unfinished. So I start furnishing the interior with ready-made furniture from the mod. Modern interior design focuses on keeping spaces open and comfortable rather than filling every corner with decorations. I begin planning where each room should serve its purpose before placing a single piece of furniture. A well-designed interior is all about balance, making every area useful without making it feel crowded. I start upstairs by placing a large bed, stylish bedside tables, wardrobes for clothes and shoes, modern lamps, and several decorative shelves. These pieces immediately turn the second floor into a cozy bedroom instead of an empty space surrounded by glass. Large panoramic windows work especially well here because they allow plenty of natural light inside during the day while providing amazing views at night. One interesting design tip is that furniture should never block large windows. Architects usually keep the areas around panoramic glass open so the room feels brighter and more spacious. Following that same principle in Minecraft makes the bedroom feel much more luxurious. The second floor has plenty of remaining space, so I continue decorating with a comfortable sofa facing a television. Nearby, I place armor stands that function almost like display mannequins for different equipment sets. I also add a brewing stand, which gives the room another practical purpose, besides simply relaxing. Modern homes often combine several activities within one open area instead of dividing everything into many small rooms. This creates a flexible layout where every section flows naturally into the next. Even though this is Minecraft, the same architectural philosophy helps the interior feel much more realistic. Once the upper floor is complete, I move downstairs and begin furnishing the living areas. Comfortable sofas, decorative carpets, tables, cabinets, cabinets and additional lighting quickly fill the open spaces. Rugs made from red and black wool help define different zones inside the room without adding unnecessary walls. This is actually a common interior design technique. Instead of separating every function with partitions, designers often use flooring, furniture, and lighting to visually organize an open floor plan while preserving the feeling of spaciousness. After walking through every room one final time, the transformation is incredible. Just a few minutes ago, this was an empty concrete shell, but now both floors are completely furnished and full of personality. Every room has a clear purpose. The furniture complements the modern architecture instead of hiding it, and the house finally feels ready for someone to move in. One lesson I always try to share is that the interior should tell the same story as the exterior. A sleek, modern facade deserves an equally thoughtful interior, and by carefully filling both floors with functional furniture and tasteful decorations, the entire build feels complete from the front door all the way to the panoramic bedroom upstairs. Since the entire house was intentionally built slightly above ground level, I realize there is a large amount of unused space underneath the structure. Instead of leaving it as an empty crawl space, I decide to turn it into a fully functional storage room. I begin by leveling the walls, floor, and ceiling with white concrete so the area matches the clean style of the rest of the house. Even though players may not spend much time down here, finishing hidden spaces is one of the habits that separates ordinary builds from truly polished ones. Real houses often use basements, utility rooms, or storage areas to make the most of every available square meter. And I like applying the same idea in Minecraft whenever possible. With the room prepared, I start filling it with rows of white storage chests and matching white furnaces until the space becomes a massive utility area. Having dozens of organized storage containers makes it much easier to keep building materials sorted for future projects, while the furnaces provide enough smelting capacity for large-scale construction. Instead of wasting the empty space beneath the house, it now serves an important practical purpose without affecting the clean appearance of the exterior. This is a great reminder that good architecture is not only about what people immediately see. The most successful buildings combine beautiful design with smart use of every part of the structure, including the spaces that remain hidden beneath the main living areas. Great! Our modern house is ready! Subscribe and like. Bye-bye!